Yeah.
like, we could, like, well, I don't know what I was gonna say, but,
Let's put something together and, just even on the website, let's put together what is the concepts, right? And then what is being done now, what problem are you solving?
transparency, I guess you could say, transparency
Yeah.
and accountability
Right.
and investing
And just control.
And control,
control.
and what's being done now. And look at any use cases, what
Well,
somebody's
now
doing
they have
something.
like board meetings and stuff like that, but that's like, can't be as frequent or really as transparent.
But you should look at what is being done now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What are new
Well-
and are you using the blockchain with this or no?
Well,
Yeah, we're using the blockchain to track the, I guess, transactions.
Okay, so look for blockchain uses.
Well,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
that's what the
Investment.
speaker
Yeah.
talked about.
Right,
companies
but-
are starting to like streamline their information, so people get the information
Right, but I'm just
faster.
saying, look for blockchain, an investor, basically uses of blockchain that people are doing for investments,
Yeah.
Okay. Get that.
blockchain for investments.
So do you think otherwise it's, doable?
I think this is more narrow than what you were gonna,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
did
I didn't have a
before.
central idea.
Yeah, then basically thinking I'm taking on all the banks and I'm taking on all the other idea would be, or like even that guy that I talked about, that Moy, what he was doing on the money, he was doing basically using just the Bitcoin for collateral for a loan. So he's giving a traditional loan, but I'm gonna use
Yeah, but he
Bitcoin.
charges like double what the,
Did you look at it?
yeah, I mean, it's mostly for people who wanna mine Bitcoin.
Is
and
it? I thought it was for others too, that I just have some Bitcoin.
Maybe I was
And
looking
then-
at his competitor or,
Yeah.
but,
I thought his was where I want a loan, I'll get a loan, and I can even get like a micro loan. Check it. But this may be better. I like the second one better, then you don't have to be you're not gonna be in the lending business, you know what I mean? But this one, in terms of investors, entrepreneurs,
kind of like a new idea.
new idea, you know what I mean, that you could
Yeah.
even set it up and then present it to investors, they may like it because they have
Well, yeah,
more.
it's built for them.
It's built for them,
Not
they
for
can
the
see it,
USD.
okay, I
Alright.
like that better.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's set something up and then we'll look at the website on Wednesday, just in the beginning, we'll just set up something, that you
Yeah.
can start. Okay, next,
Do you have a Gmail?
Yeah.
my next patient. He was good, no, Justin, I really liked him. Yes, sir, what'd you think, last
Oh,
week?
yeah.
He was good, wasn't he? So we'll do more of that. Okay, so,
You wanna just talk a little bit about it, or?
I mean, I already kind of did, I try to explain.
so basically I was confused.
I think what we're trying to develop, because we're still kind of figuring it out. I think we
Okay.
were more clear at first, but now I think even we're a little bit shaky about it.
Okay,
Was originally like a more secure form of like doing online transactions, because yes, most of them are sort of secure, but they all have their flaws, and that's something that we kind of mentioned in the paper with certain ones. Like there was like with Samsung, the fact that they use like tokens and like it was kind of shaky.
and how
'cause
are
it
you gonna
was-
make this more secure? Do you have the background to make it more secure than Apple Pay or Samsung? You have the,
We were thinking of maybe just like attempting to sort of merge whatever like their strength is, because like for example Apple Pay, their main problem is that I could take her phone right now and just like I don't think it's working. Do you have your Apple Pay here?
Yeah, I do. It's just like sometimes it shows, sometimes
Like
it
you know,
doesn't.
it shows on here, so
Right.
it's very easy for you to hack. Or like
okay,
certain ones like where you use a certain method, like we think like for example maybe like having like your Touch ID would be more secure in certain cases, but we know not every phone uses that. So I'm not 100% sure where or what we would specifically do, but we're just thinking of like
what's your major?
what
What is your major?
marketing.
What is your,
Management and finance.
what is your economics, right? You like this idea? Brenna,
I mean, I actually kind of do though. Yeah.
what about you?
I mean, I don't really know how we'd like actually do it, but
That's my point.
I mean, are the rest of these groups actually gonna like code their own blockchain stuff? Like, we're
Not code
really
it, but at
gonna do it.
least have more of a sense. I don't need you to code it,
Sure.
but I want it to be, that people come to you and say, hey, this is a group
Mhm.
that you can successfully get a team together to enhance this. I'm not expecting you necessarily, when you have a group of people that are gonna do it, that you're the coders, but that when I'm gonna invest in a team, I'm investing in, you have the passion and you have the background and you have the capabilities, and I don't know, in something like this, it's looking at your strength versus maybe, and if you wanna keep on the blockchain arena, maybe blockchain, something around what students are doing, blockchain around education, or blockchain in marketing or management. So, I don't wanna completely tell you, I don't want you to do this, but I'm wondering where you have that strength of looking at this and over Apple versus saying, hey, we're really heavy into, cybersecurity, and we really know these flaws, and all I need is then programmers for this cybersecurity end. Versus if, I take a group where they're gonna do forecast, their finance, and they're gonna do forecasting, taking like what we did with some of the forecasts, and they're gonna expand upon that and looking at some of the forecast and getting other strategies from around the world into their site, and they'll evaluate the strategies. This group may not write the strategies, but they can run the strategies and tell, hey, this is a winning, this is now, I'm up 15% or 20%, and these are the good ones working now, and I'm trying out the strategies, and then I can get other people from around the world to contribute, and then I can get a group of people to program it. Or the ones that are studying in finance, and they're gonna think about their idea of real estate and putting part of the, titles and deeds, and we'll work on the conceptual part of reducing the middleman in blockchain. Or another group's gonna do online, doing tutoring for students, and matching students with others in tutoring. Another group was gonna do mental health, people that are stressed before the exams and helping with stress. If you want to pursue this, you can. That's my only, and I don't want to spend so much time that we'll spend, we're ready at the end of October, so we have basically November to work on it, that I want it to be. But I wanted something that you guys can conclude that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about this, go for it. You know what I mean? And then can say that I'm evaluating these, and these seem to be, maybe in a way, finding areas that you're evaluating some of these and giving feedback to companies maybe of where their deficiencies are in terms of we're trying it out and giving feedback for those deficiencies.
So
But you're the decision makers, you know what I mean? I'm giving you just feedback that later on if you're gonna go for a job interview, or you're gonna go take this, I want you to take this with you, rather than I did a silly project in the class, or I had to fulfill the requirements and we just came up with something.
So, if we're gonna do something related to blockchain, then I don't know, could it be something like, we could study, like, we could, like, search whatever, like, how big companies, like, implement blockchain and, like, how they work with it, and how we could implement that into small companies, like, like, something like that? That would be an idea, kinda, somehow?
You refined it, yeah, that you've done all this and now you think, they're gonna be using blockchain among, banks, and now I just met somebody, they're gonna do credit unions, and they're gonna do blockchains with credit unions, and they're just gonna do it within credit unions themselves, rather, almost like a private blockchain, and they're a way to communicate with credit unions. You can. But you gotta figure out what, most of all of these blockchain uses, think about it, they're uses now, meaning that they're almost in a way case study pilots. Very few are actually up and running, the classic one is shipping. Maersk, when they have the steamer ships and they're gonna be, taking the products and finding out where were those products along the routes, or, one is in terms of food processing, where now Del Monte or the others, remember, where was my lettuce? Where did it go along the route? And since it replicates, I can really track along the chain, where were those, where was the supply chain. Basically, supply chain is a classic blockchain because it's where has it been tracked. They've always done it like in diamonds, or where I don't want to have fraudulent practices or fair trade. I want to make sure that those products have gone through a fair trade practice and have not been exploitations done. So that those are traditional blockchains, or things in terms of they've been thinking about voting, has been classic on blockchain, that I have immutable, or they're thinking also on government, where I have deeds, titles.
You take an idea that's like in a different country and then just apply it to the US.
Possibility.
It's like, I know in China, the use of like, kind of have like, basically credit scores.
For
but
people, right?
But just through like the use of like an app like Uber or like Airbnb, it's like just like combining ratings from like that sort of thing into like a.
So
like
what's the problem here?
like a sharing economy credit score for like peer-to-peer lending, or like if you're doing like I don't know, because like you can get points or whatever in China if you like tag, like, those scooters they have around here, if you like tag a bike and like say where it is, just like add that data to the thing, you can get like, or you get like a token or whatever for it.
You can think about it in terms of education.
In terms of education?
If we took this class, right, and if we're broadcasting now the class, and we broadcasted it throughout the world,
Yeah.
you can come in anonymously,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say and in the beginning, you would want to check out a number of classes.
Mm-hmm.
You can come into the class, check it out, you could observe it, and if you really liked it, because in some, you may go into a class and say, this is too slow for me, this is too over my head, hey, I really like this, and once you got into it, one of the things you may be able to do is almost you could get micro credits. That, let's say I've continuing professional, let's say I'm an attorney, I need continuing professional education. So let's say we had a couple of lectures on blockchain and the law. I could take some of those, and instead of going for the entire semester, I could get then, instead of 3 credits, I could get maybe a third of a credit. And then, or I want to take the class and I really like the class. Now, if I were in China or if I were in Europe, I could go to like a testing center or like an embassy or something, consulate, take the test, and then get credit from the university. We only could fit 40 students into this class. And then the students that were in the class, if there were a number of people chatting and asking questions, we could say, Greta, you could then say, hey, I want to participate. I have my cell phone here. I want to participate. I'll moderate the chats. And then she possibly then could get rewarded on some kind of token, getting rewarded for participating in the class. Not only are you in the class, but you can participate by asking, and then maybe you want to tutor some of the students. They didn't understand how to do the forecast. You could, if you were helping them, you could get possible additional ways in which to do it. So they have like those they're doing like peer-to-peer, kind of like that micro lending. You can even look at it in blockchain, even doing it here, people that don't have bank accounts, even, the people that are doing paycheck, all those, have you ever seen those paycheck places where they pay a lot of interest, where the check cashing places that you go to now, and people are needing, loans
Sure.
that you can think about possibilities. Yeah, you could look at something like that, but seeing where is there the need, and you can come conceptually with it. And I want you to be excited about it, that you can say, hey, that's a really neat idea, I can reach out to it. And this one, I know, like the Apple Pay, the Samsung, and now what am I gonna do? Say that these are the deficiencies, basically, of these. And we're suggesting a couple of the other ones.
Well, I mean, what we were thinking at first
Yeah.
was just taking all the deficiencies from all of them and just trying to make one, trying to make
You
something.
come like a prototype of it, I guess.
But
Like Caleb's idea.
yeah, I think I like that idea better.
I do too.
Can work.
You know what I mean? Because of those deficiencies, it's like, really, this, you could almost go to somebody and say, this would be really hard to say, I got these deficiencies, but
I think it could work sort of kind of like a reward system based thing where it qualifies you with certain criteria, and depending on your level, you kind of access certain benefits that you might not
Sure.
have before.
Like the price could be lower because your
Yeah.
risk, it's the same as a loan, with the credit
Kind
card.
of you're more credible,
Yeah,
and
so,
thus you get certain
I like
benefits.
that one better
The
too.
cost of taking out one of those scooters.
I
is
already
lower
have,
'cause there's less risk of you stealing it, because.
How would we do research on that though? Because I know
On
you
what?
want a backing of it. Would we try to research what they do in China and then implement that and just try to make it better?
Right, well, first we'll see what they're doing in something like China, see what are all the, basically looking at the competition, right?
Okay.
China, the world is the competition now, and we're basically, there's different ways, of course, and then there's cultural aspects, right? What they do in China, it works differently than what they're gonna do in the United States, and even, in the United States, certain things work differently in certain parts, but definitely, the United States works differently than,
Yeah. No,
China
it's-
that you can implement. And you can do variations, doesn't have to be exactly
Sure.
what
In their
it is, but you can take that idea, of
And-
this, it's been successful.
in their system, it's very it's a lot harsher. I feel because they do things if you jailwalk,
Well,
they lose points.
it's basically, it's not a democracy,
Well, yeah, it's
you know.
controlled by the government
Yeah.
rather than
Right,
So
right,
we
it's
would
centralized.
probably just modify it for it to be based more on rewards versus penalty.
Or just make it more decentralized.
Yeah.
With blockchain and
Okay, I think that's, do you understand my,
Yeah.
because I want it for you guys, not just, and for this, it's like, where am I gonna go with this?
And this is something that hasn't been implemented here, so I think it has a lot more opportunity.
Yeah,
to
and
expand.
then possibly you could actually go, and see what, and try to even see here what's the closest, even in the States, what is, because the whole credit market is being infiltrated now with the fintech that whole idea, people are trying to, look at fintech apps, and they're trying to eliminate a lot of the bureaucracy, a lot of the middle layers, and going through that. I like that better. So we gotta,
Yeah,
we basically, we're at a disadvantage, but I'd even do it maybe kind of combining. Create the, I don't wanna hold you up in terms of kind of get the proposal down, and then even start with the website. The beginning, and you can change the website, so don't feel that, it's not, that's the beauty, it's not set and go, but at least you can start looking at it, you can pass it on to other people, and people can give you feedback, and even each other can give you feedback, hey, we're looking at this.
Sure.
And then you keep on adding.
Would it be okay for us to like use like what he said, where like you compile every like, you know how you have like Uber ratings or like Airbnb, like that to base off your score? Like, could we use that idea as well
Yeah.
to like implement how credible you are?
Oh, you mean take your Uber rating?
Like just like add them
But
up
how
and get
are
a
you gonna-
score.
So, let's say I'm going to be, you're gonna get my Uber score? How are you gonna get my Uber score?
We would have to directly contact the companies in theory, but
I don't think the Uber's gonna give you what's incentive for, first of all, I don't know in terms of we think about privacy, but it's not, is it public information, my Uber score? It's not like, that I'm sharing, that I have a credit score that, banks can,
see, yeah, I get what you're
banks
saying.
getting my credit score, but I don't think Uber is sharing their
Customer rating
customer ratings, with other
companies.
companies, you know what I mean? And if they were, maybe it's de-identifying. I don't know what policy we have with Uber when we sign up, is my Uber rating,
Okay.
I think they're drivers
Yeah, drivers you can see.
drive,
Yeah.
and I guess the Uber drivers, when they're gonna pick me up, they see what rating I have, whether they'll pick me up,
Mhm.
But I don't know if it's gonna be public, so it's not like that type of data, but you can, so it's that thing of, and now, on, the European,
Union?
privacy,
Yeah.
the GDPR is what's gonna be really available to share. And it looks like the tendency people are, thinking now on their social media, they are selling the data, and really it's out there. There's a lot of these firms that you don't even know that they have all your data, you know what I mean? They can really tell based on a number of things about you, and Google knows so much about you, right? And Amazon now, think about it, how much now with the Whole Foods, right, and everything else, they have a lot, right? And even where you are, right, your location.
Your location services app.
Right,
Yeah.
right, so everybody has that data, but whether you can say, I'm gonna set that up and add more of those. But I like the second idea, here, take this back, rather than this, cause then you
Okay.
can, and it's also more creative for you. Where this one, you're stuck,
I feel like it's
whatever.
more limited.
Yeah, no, one is, it's hard to say, I'm gonna really improve it, because you don't know what the behind the scenes is, and two, what are you gonna add to, you're not contributing anything creative to it, and then next year, already, everybody's improving all the time, so what you say today is gonna be obsolete for their new version. And you're always gonna be dependent on them with what they come up with, versus this is more, almost like you're owning it.
So we have to come up with a solution for like how to get data from like Airbnb or something like that, or?
Well, if you're gonna use Airbnb, you
Can
have
we
to
use like
find out, can you get data from Airbnb versus, that's the question. You can get data, probably even scraping it data on hosts of
Yeah,
Airbnb,
but not the-
cause that's
Yeah.
public, right? But me as a user of Airbnb, do I publish that?
I'm hypothetically, since this
Right.
is sort of like a rewards-based idea,
Right.
what if it's like a partnership, like with each company, where like the rewards that you receive are based on the company that we're getting information from? Like, let's say, like, I don't know, like if you have a,
Airbnb,
like, let's say you have a good score, you get a better deal on a rental for something, and they give us information as incentive. Could that be done or argued?
the thing is their idea, you have to find out almost like on their privacy is, if I sign up for Airbnb or any of these services, do they have the right to share my data with these other companies?
So just to confirm,
Yeah,
is it like, for example, like Waze, when you like tell the app like where there's cops or like where there's
Yes.
traffic and stuff, like you
Uh-huh.
get points in reward, we would be getting tokens.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Some, yeah, yeah,
I think
That-
we have a more concrete idea,
yeah.
something we can
That make
expand
me-
on more. for
yeah, I like it better. And you can add your own
Twist to it.
twist to it, and it doesn't have to be so technical, like trying to do,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like that, I like it better. And it's easier to explain
Mhm.
to somebody. And if we had a group, in the last week, we had a group of investors sitting in the first row, they'd be more bound to invest with you guys in the second idea than the first.
Okay.
We'll start to work on it then. Thank you.
Thanks.
My pleasure. Hopefully I help.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too.
Evening now.
So should we do the write-up, like proposal for you or something?
Yeah, write up a short proposal, but you know what I do, since we're here together, I write up a short proposal just for yourselves,
Okay.
that you can upload, that this is our proposal, but at the same time, start the website already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't want to wait another session to give
And we
you,
just have to do the
So we
team
do that in
section.
Wix?
what?
We just have to do the team section on the website for Wednesday.
Yeah,
Okay.
wait, what?
When Wix.
Yeah, you can use, you can use anything, but
Sure.
Wix is,
easy.
Wix is easy, it's up and running, and it looks already nice,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the background, you can at least have a smile on your face that you look somewhat professional, and then we'll worry about, we'll get the content deeper, but at least
Yeah.
we'll start.
Sure.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
And then when you put the URL on your project, you know, that you can see already.
We don't have to like buy a.
No,
we
you
can just
know,
use the Wix
you
dot
use the
slash
regular
whatever.
Wix, you know, later on when we get investors, then we'll buy the
Sure.
domain.
Bye.
Bye. So, how are you? Do you want to get your mic? Yeah, how are you? Everything goes wrong, but it's okay. Yeah, so the link that I was trying to use didn't come up, so I just created my own quickly and then published it to. Yes, I did it in the class, I was doing it. And then the guy never showed up, he sent me an email that he got stuck in traffic and he got a flat tire. And then the woman that was supposed to be here didn't show up. You know how everything is, so. Right, and so with the students, I made sure I had some time to sit with some of the students about their project, to help them with their project and give them feedback. Okay? What? Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna just, put together, I'm gonna wait another 10 minutes, in case you came at 7. About 7:15. Yeah. Okay, and then I'll go to Trader Joe's, and then you can go to the wellness center. Bye. So, change your bag, because you have the t-shirts and stuff. Bye. I'm closing off, I'm shutting down.